Now we will look at managing payors and payments. To bill insurance or another payor, we need to have two pieces of information and a biller setup. The first piece of information is the payor information and the plan type. So let's have a look at that. We'll go to Payors and Update Payors. Now once again, we'll get the warning that we shouldn't delete or overwrite old items. So let's try to delete Acme Insurance. If I choose delete, I'll get a window that says you can't delete this payor because it's already been used in these services. And you'll notice that there are two records for which Acme has been used. And you can tell that there's a secondary payor here with the little green highlight. So if we go to the second part, we'll notice that Acme Insurance was charged $35 for this adjustment, and Chris Moore herself was charged $10 for the adjustment. So we wouldn't want to delete Acme Insurance because it's been used in the past, nor would I want to overwrite that if I tried to overwrite that and call it maybe Acne Insurance instead, and I go to delete it. Then again, it'll say I can't delete it, but it'll notice it's suddenly changed. Now, instead of Acme Insurance, I have Acne Insurance on an old record. So once again, it's best to add new records rather than overwriting old ones. So let's go back and put Acme back to Acme. So here is where we could update payors. We will need to enter a new payor every time a client comes in with an insurance that we haven't billed before. So for example, I could assign Acme Insurance to 100 clients. So I only need to enter that once for their main plan. However, if somebody comes in with ABC Insurance, well then I would need to add that if I don't have ABC Insurance here. So let's add ABC Insurance. Now I can enter all this information either from the client's card or from the web that automatically sorts by name. So now I have ABC Insurance as well. Sometimes you will need multiple records for each insurance type. For example, we have Acme Insurance and then we have Acme Insurance Supplemental. So I can assign Acme Insurance to hundreds of clients and I can assign Acme Insurance Supplemental to hundreds of clients. But since I might be billing both of these at the same time, it's important to have a distinction. So in my system, I might have a couple of Blue Cross Blue Shields. I might have one Blue Cross Blue Shield that's a PPO and one Blue Cross Blue Shield that is another type of plan. So we have our payors entered. The next step then is to assign these payors to clients and capture the client information. So the first piece of information is having a payor. The second information is having a payor associated with a client. So from here, you can see that Acme Insurance is already assigned to Chris Moore. Now, if I want, I could also assign any other insurance company that I have to her. So I could assign ABC, and just like we did in the earlier video when we were adding clients, I can put in all the plan numbers and all that kind of stuff. I can take the pictures of the cards and drop those into the well as well so that we can actually have a copy of the cards. So all of that can be there for them. Since we don't need ABC, I'm actually going to delete this number here, and that'll take ABC away, and I'm good to go. Now notice, if we were to create a new service for Chris, when I choose the payor, I only get the payors that are assigned to her. So over here, I only receive Acme Insurance and Medicare because those have been assigned to her and she's got all the appropriate numbers. I do not have the opportunity to assign any of these other insurers to her simply because she doesn't have those plans. So it keeps it nice and simple over here on the Enter New Service that you can assign it to the person themselves or the plans that they've actually got. We entered the payor information, then we combine that with the client information. We assign the payor to the client. Now we could enter in Adjustment Adult. And again, this is just like we looked at when we were entering new services for clients. So I could bill it to self, and I could say, you know, that was $15 to self, and come over here and then add that it was $40 to, say, Acme. And I've done my insurance billing, just the financial part. Again, I would want to enter diagnosis code. I might have more notes that I want to enter, and I might enter, you know, my billing codes as well. But anyway, all that information is right there. So again, we made sure that we had a payor. We then assigned that payor to the client. And then when we entered the adjustment, we billed to that particular payor. The next thing we'll need to have is a billing service. So we can click Update Billing Service. On this, we just have the default example billing service entered, and we have the name and address. And you can just enter that in for your biller. Everything is set up now. All we need to do is charge some companies. So we go to Payors, and we can look at Payors owing. This pulls up automatically all of the Payors that owe money. So apparently Acme Insurance owes us $110, and you can see all the information. This was for Chris Moore, and Chris Moore had 2 services. The plan number, the group number, the enrollee ID, all of that is right there. The date of birth, everything that an insurance company needs, and then the service date, the diagnosis, the billing codes, the charge, and all of that, all right there for you. Now you'll notice if we come down to Christine, you'll see a policyholder has appeared. Christine is not the policyholder. Marty Teen is the policyholder. So you'll notice for folks where it might be their husband's insurance or their wife's insurance that the policyholder appears. Again, everything that you need for the insurance company is there. And simply all you'd have to do right now is email. So I can simply tap email here. A PDF is automatically created, and the email is automatically addressed to your billing service. So I could simply put in a title, this month's billing. It's all processed for me. Then we just need to wait for checks from the insurance company. You also have some other options here. We could export it as a PDF. We could print it out and fax it. You've got other ways of working with it. You will want to avoid submitting charges twice. If you've already sent charges to the biller but haven't yet received checks from the payor, you could limit what appears in the report. So let's say that I know that this has already been billed before. In fact, I know everything between July and August has already been billed before. I want to start with September of 2015. Well, I could use this search within and set the date. So I could set the date to be greater than 8/31/2015. And when I do that, notice we come down here, now we get the September forward charges. So that's a quick way to limit what you would be submitting to your biller. Because sometimes, again, the biller would have submitted the report, you won't have gotten the check, and you want to limit things that way. So you can do that by all kinds of things. If I wanted to just do it for Christine, say, then I could find only the charges for Christine. Now I'm going to open up a new report so I have a fresh set of data. So if we go to Payors owing again, there's everything. Now let's say that I wanted to limit it just to Acme Insurance and not have Medicare. Again, I could hit refine and I could enter Acme and search, and then I have only the Acme Insurance. There's one final way I can limit this report too. I can just remove things one by one. Let's say that I know that I've already submitted this one. I don't want to do a refined search. I can simply tap on this little X that says omit current record. I do that. I have refined down to less. So again, everything is right there so that I will not end up submitting duplicate charges. Honestly, it wouldn't hurt you. Your biller would probably just submit it again and charge you the 50 cents per item, whatever their fee is. But if you want to avoid that, easy to do this. Finally, you'll see the wrench icon here, and that allows you to go to that service. So notice 1128, Chris Moore, that's that service. So I can quickly pull up the details for any particular one of these. So if I'm looking over a report and notice that I entered the wrong amount somewhere, I can fix that up and rerun the report. Again, I could take this refined report and just email that to the billing service. All right, now there is a Payors owing with notes as well. So I had a client that wanted her notes to also appear on the billing report. So you can run the billing report and it will bring your notes through, like the crossing patterns through lumbar, et cetera, et cetera. However, then you need to make sure that your notes are very professional and that then they would make sense to an insurance company, or for whatever reason you might want to have the notes field there. Most people prefer just to have the Payors owing as I showed it to you, but there's another option if you like. So we've sent that report to the billing service, they've submitted it to the insurance companies, and we finally receive our money. So we want to receive batch payments. So if I go to batch payments here, I can add a new batch, and let's say that this one was from Acme, and we can enter a check number, we could enter a batch total. So we've got $110 there. Now, if I wanted to, I could also drop a file in here, take a picture of the check or scan in the explanation of benefits or whatever. I could have that there. When I apply payments to client services, a few things happen. Notice that this is batch number 262, and that gets assigned automatically to all the open charges from Acme Insurance. And the payment type is now automatically assigned to insurance. So all I have to go through here is take my $110 check, and that matches my charge total, and then match it. So if my explanation of benefits says, oh, Chris Moore for $11.28, we paid $35 for that. Well, I just put in $35. And maybe we got $40 for Chris Moore the next time, and $35 the last time. Everything adds up, 110, 110, and that's glorious. And I could look at one of these individual records by tapping on the wrench if I needed to. Often these totals won't match because what I receive from the insurance company will be payments for a previous month, but I might have charges for the current month that I have yet to receive a check for. That's okay, no problem. Also, occasionally I'll receive less money than I billed. Maybe the insurance company has changed what they'll pay, and maybe they will have only paid, say, $33 for this particular charge. So I can put $33 there, and that almost works. But only almost. I'll show you why. So we're going to close this out, go back to apply payments to services. Since the $33 we received is less than the $35 that we charge them, every time that we want to apply a check from Acme, this charge will appear. So if I need to change the amount charged, I just tap this, and then I get $33. And now this time, if I were to go to apply payments to client services, it would tell me, hey, there's no charges for this particular payor. You're good to go. If I want to go back and look at previous batches and see what happened, I can just tap batch details, and that shows me everything that happened on that particular batch. And I could even go back and again fix something. So if I said, oh no, they actually did pay me $35 here, and let's fix all that up. I can update that as well, so now I have all my numbers matching again. So when I look at any one of these services, if I go and say, look at this one, you'll notice that now we have Acme Insurance, we billed $40, they paid $40, the pay date was automatically set to today, the pay type was set to insurance, the batch number is 262, and again we see that here and here. So when we enter payments in this window, it updates everywhere in the system. So it's a quick way of taking one check and applying it to a number of clients. To quickly review, the first step is to make sure we have a payor defined. We do that in Update Payors. Once we have a payor defined, then we can assign that to a particular client. So here we are on the Payors tab with the clients, and we can choose one of the payors that we have, enter the appropriate numbers, take pictures of the insurance cards, whatever we need to do. Then when they have a service, and let's just look at an existing service, we can bill both themselves for a copay and the insurance company. And we can even bill multiple. I could bill supplemental insurance here as well. Then we make sure that we have a billing service set up. So we just put our billing contact in here, so that way when we hit email, it will email this email address, right? I run my Payors owing report, and notice that this has fewer charges now because we took care of Acme, so this is only showing up with Medicare. I can email that directly to my biller. Then when I receive the check, I come into batch payments. I could add a new batch. This time we'll choose Medicare because we have open charges, and then apply that payment to all of the open charges. And that allows you to bill insurance in a very quick and neat way.